Today I'm going to be teaching you on how to find the range of a function. So to find the range of a function, what we need to do is look for the negative infinity to positive infinity. So the range here is going to be negative infinity to infinity. Also, we're going to follow the line of a function. So now let's try this quadratic function. So the range here is, in a quadratic function, we're going to use bracket. So it's going to be 0 to infinity. So infinity and negative infinity, they are all parentheses. Now let's try this. So the range of this is going to be negative 3 bracket comma infinity, and the function of this is going to be x squared minus 3. Now let's try this. This is in downward. So the range here is going to be negative infinity. We're going to start from the lowest side to the highest point. So that's going to be 4. And we are going to put a bracket. So this function is y equals to 4 minus x squared. Now let's try this one. So the range here is going to be 2. I mean 1. I thought we were good. So 1, and it is in bracket. So let's replace this. Let's write the function first. So this function is going to be a quadratic function, x squared minus 4x plus 5. And its range is going to be bracket. We're going to put bracket here. In quadratic function, it's always bracket 1 to infinity. Now in cubic functions, or any type of polynomial function, the range is going to be all real numbers, which is negative infinity to positive infinity. Now let's try absolute value functions. So this type of function is y equals to x squared, absolute value of x. So the range here is going to be 0 to infinity. So the difference here is that we're not going to use bracket anymore. We're always going to use parentheses. So how about this one? This function is going to be the absolute value of x plus 3. We have a vertical shift, and it is 3. So the range here is going to be 3 to infinity. Now let's try this one. We got yes. So the range here is negative 3 to infinity. So this type of function is still absolute value function with this function y is equals to absolute value of x minus 3. Actually, we're going to put x minus 2 here. There you have it. So if we do solve for the value of x, we will have a 2. Okay, now let's try this. This in the downward direction. So therefore, we have a negative absolute value of x minus 3. So the range here is going to be negative infinity to the highest point, which is 4. We're going to use parentheses. Now let's try radical functions. So what is the range of this one? So this is y equal to square root of x. So the range is going to be 0 comma to infinity because it is going upward too. Now let's try this. This is in a downward direction. So our radical function is going to be negative root x. So we got the range of, no, that's 0, but we're going to start from the bottom, which is going to be negative infinity, till the highest point, which is 0, and we're going to use bracket. Now, how about this one? So again, this is just the same as the earlier problem. So we got a function of y equals to square root of negative x. The negative sign is in the inside of the radical sign. So the range here is going to be, we're going to start from 0, which is bracket, to infinity. We don't have a negative infinity here because it's still going up, which is positive infinity. Now how about this one? So this is a function of negative square root of negative x. So we have a 2 negative square root there. So the range is going to be negative infinity to 0. And we're going to use bracket. Now let's try this one. This radical function is going to be y is equals to negative square root of x minus 3 plus we have a vertical shift of 4. Okay, so the range here is going to be starting from the bottom to the highest point. That's going to be negative infinity. I was about to write 4. 2, 4. And we're going to use bracket. So that's it.